He's a well-known Gambian, and we're going to discuss about his book, of course, the most talked about book in this country right now. That is the Mischievous Mosquitoes of Banjul. We're going to talk about it, and I'm sure all of us, all of us who've been to Banjul, we've have our own encounters with the mosquitoes in Banjul. So we're going to talk about this book. Of course, a lot of people are talking about it, and then right now, Mr. Ndow is going to tell us about what is this book about. He's going to tell us what motivated him to, of course, write this book. And we're going to talk about a lot of things about this book. Banjul is a capital, and then a lot of things, you know. Mr. Ndow, welcome.
Thank you, Buba. Thanks for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
First, let's start with what motivated you to write this book.
Well, I was born in Banjul, and saw the city deteriorate from, right after the colonial time, and to how the gutters were just getting stagnant because people were not sensitized about the use of the gutters, so they were stagnant, and mosquitoes started breeding because Banjul has always had a mosquito problem in the first place. Yes, even when the colonialists came to take over Banjul. So I want to explore the history of the mosquitoes pretty soon. So I'm working on that as well. So this is their story, and I'm also working on their history in Banjul. So, but yeah, it was just the stagnant waters and mosquitoes in Banjul. I mean, I don't think any Gambian can ever claim that they've never been bitten by a mosquito. So that kind of motivated me, and I wanted to raise awareness about the environment as well, because it is the main cause of the mosquitoes of Banjul.
That's right. So before we get into the book proper, now let's talk about you and these mosquitoes. You said you grew up in Banjul. What is your encounter with them?
Well, my encounter with them is everybody's encounter with them. At night, like
during the day.
During the day, you know what I mean. In the evening, they're out. You'll be out playing soccer in the streets and still having to fight the mosquitoes. You're sitting outside, always spraying the room, lighting up a muntaiga, whatever it is, to try to just kind of fend them off. Sleeping at night, they won't let you sleep. So yeah, definitely my experience with the mosquito is shared by every Gambian. So, but I just happen to be the vehicle to tell their story. So
that is right. So now let's get what are we expecting from this book?
I think my message for this book is the environment. That's the main reason, and also early reading. I'm trying to contribute in trying to change the reading culture, because Gambia is we don't have a reading culture. Most of us grew up not being read to as children, and that will take a toll because there's a lag time in knowing how to read and comprehension and all that. Reading is a confidence builder. It builds vocabulary and just basically makes you be able to express yourself, and I think that's the problem. Like, most Gambian children can't really express themselves.
Yeah.
And if you can, as a child, it's like it's almost frowned upon. It's like, xale bi moytul ma ko ni mu nee wax. So we need to encourage kids to be articulate and be able to express themselves. Kids are basically seen and not heard. So all these things need to change, and I'm trying to push with this book to trying to change that, the culture of reading.
So it's written in a way that it is easy to read. That's what you're saying. Even maybe kids of primary school can, because that's what I'm saying in the book. But we are going to talk about that later. But you're you also try to write in a way so that people can be encouraged and read in a different way.
Yeah, in a different way, and not just reading, but also representation, right? Because it is important to see yourself in something, because that's what's going to make you interested and make you read it with pleasure, make you want to read it, make you look for something to read because you can see yourself in it. So that is the main idea, and also context, right? Because context is very important, because most of the things that we've read from outside, or our stories are being told by other people. So it is time for us to take our stories, ownership, and tell our own stories. good or bad, because you can read bad things about America written by Americans, right? You can read good things about America written about Americans. You can say the same thing for the UK and whatnot. So we need to take ownership and tell our stories and tell it in a very delightful and vibrant way. So that's what I'm aiming for here.
That is right. Now, talking about this book, what impact do you think this book will make?
I'm hoping, and I think I'm going to try to work with the ministry and schools and see how this book can be incorporated into the curriculum, because I think it is time for Gambian children to read about Gambia written by Gambians. And the best way to pass our stories to our children is through books. Now there's the internet and all this, but reading should not go away just because they are cartoons, right? Because cartoons, it's okay, it's entertainment and it's very eye-catching, but I don't think anything beats reading.
Yeah, that is right. Now, last Saturday there was I think it was the time that you launched this book.
Yeah,
It was
couple of days ago. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
that was 2 days ago, I
Yeah.
believe. Take us through about what happened on that day.
Basically, what happened was, it was with the all high schools thing that we had, and the launching of the book was kind of tied to that. James Monday was our keynote speaker, and he did a very excellent job in his review of the book and the message behind it. And I thank him immensely for doing that, because he just basically made it to a point whereby people and expressed the urgency of what's in the book and the message, and that people should embrace the message and try to pass it on and spread the message, because we definitely need to try to get handle of things as far as reading and as far as the environment is concerned.
And that was actually done. And does it mean that now people can purchase this book?
Yes, people can now purchase this book. It's going to be available in the Gambia, I think, sometime in February.
That's next month.
Yeah, next month. But my publisher, Fire Network, I want to thank them immensely. They did a very incredible job in bringing the story to life, alive, because it's one thing to imagine something and write it, but it is totally a different ball game to actually bring the story alive and make it happen and make it vibrant like it is. And they've negotiated with Amazon, and Amazon have now picked up the book through distribution, which is a great thing, because then Amazon will get to market the book to a wider audience. So a shout out to my publisher, Fire Network. They did a wonderful job, and I can't thank them enough.
How much can someone buy this book?
Well, when it comes to Gambia, it will be sold at a discount, like maybe $10. So it's probably going to be maybe around between $500 and something to $600.
$600.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And then, but in the outside, because of the buying power in the United States, so we have to discount it for the Gambian population, so that people can actually be able to get their hands on the book, and hopefully schools. And then I think if you're buying in a bulk, then maybe that's something that they can negotiate.
So, and where can we get it here in the Gambia?
It's going to be available at Timbuktu in February, I believe.
In February.
Yes.
All right. So mbokk yi di leen jaajëfal képp koo xam ne yaa ngi seetaan Kër Fatou di leen wax ne kuñ toogal fii rek moo nekk Modou Ndow. Ndaw la boo xam ne Gambian la ñëpp ràññee nañ ko si liggéey boo xam ne mu ngi koo def Gambie fii, waaye liggéey boo xam ne tamit mu ngi koo defal doomi Gambian yi. Moom moo binda book boo xam ne ñu bari ñu ngi ko waxantoo Gambia fii nii léegi di Mischievous, of course, Mosquitoes of Banjul. Book bi noonu la tudda, book bi laa téye nii. Waaye book bi lañ nekk di waxtaanee tey, naka lañ koy amee ak lan moo nekk si book bi, because book bi mbiri yooyu Banjul la yooyu nag jar nañoo bindal book. Of course ñun yëpp dem nañ Banjul te gis nañ lu fa nekk since time bi Jawara, time bi Jammeh, and then definitely so book bi lañ nekk di waxtaanee tey. Moom laa toogal nii moom moo bind book bi. Dafa mel ni launching bi gars yi defoon nañ ko Saturday boo xam ne romb na fii rombana just 2 days ago lañ def launching bi nii so doomi Gambia yëpp foog naa because it's about our capital war nañoo dem ñu jënd book bii nii waaye comme dama ko laajte si wàllum angale nañ dugg si wolof bi tuuti rek ma laajte ko lan moo la motivate pour binda book bii nii pour binda about yooyu Banjul.
Well, yooyu Banjul yi moom mooy loolu.
comme
ni ko gars yi
yes.
yeah ñun ku nekk ay suma ay gars yi jox nañ la sa wàlla. So man Banjul la judo be around 10 years old, then I moved to Bakau. But then I was constantly going to Banjul because suma yaay mu for one, for like them summer holidays and stuff. And saa yoo nekkee Banjul rek suma doomu na nelaw yoo yang sa kaw dinga pompe be suma di tisoli. Duñ la bàyyi. So the Muntaiga, everything. So Banjul mom has always dafa mus di am yoo. And even during the colonial days, yoo yang fa woon, before tubaab bi di ñëw sax yoo yang fa woon because Banjul was a big forest, dafa amoon a big forest. So tubaab yi ñoo ko dog noonu because of yooyu niñ leen sonale. Waaye yooyu nag even though def nañu li ñoo def dañ leen war a delloo njukkal because book bi tam pour loolu la parce que ñoom it they were involved in our fight for independence because ñoo maata tubaab yi ba suma gars
wow that is right.
Don't let Marelia be guys my pack seen bagage daw.
Okay. So all right, so xam nañ ne book bi content nañ la waaye noonu nekk di waaye dafa mel ni this not only negative part of yooyu but the positive
part
is also
so
this is a very interesting book
in a sense it's ne mang leen a delloo njukkal
okay all right so léegi ñu xool because soo bindee book xam nañ ne ñu bari ñu expect ban njëriñ la moo am si society bi especially suñ Gambian context soo xoolee Banjul mooy suñ capital bi ban njëriñ nga foog ne nit su jëndee moo read book bi loolu la moo
am li ma cee séntu mooy pour awareness nit ñi xam ne we have to keep our environment clean suñ dëkkuwaay bi foog dañ ko war a setal and by mean setal min man yow nga bale nga dem tuur ko ci biti yow sa area rek so it's the environment because fii loolu moo fa am ku nekk da ngaa toppatoo sa own different so we have to dañ war a ñëw together as a community to make sure that the environment is clean ba pare tam xale yi dañ leen war a jàngal ne leen environment bi dafa very important so moo tax ma tàggat xale yi parce que dama dee kaf ne ñun suñ generation is a lost cause but I say it with humor and a heavy dose of reality because we have to take action and we have to take action now affaire yi mënatuñoo xaar because it's very urgent for us to make sure ne xale yi ñu ngi leen a sensitize ak mag ñi ñëpp about the environment.
Exactly te wax nga lu am solo about xale yi naka lañ ko readee ak naka lañ ko dugalee si suñ curriculum which is very important because soo xoolee ñun suñ history most of the time pour ñun suñ own history pour ñu jàng ko def day nekk problème
right
so da ngaa gis ne bii is about Banjul te li history boo xam ne soo waxee yooyu Banjul yi
ñëpp xam nañ ko.
I think that is also very very important.
Yeah because I know right around when I had bu ma defee announcement bi foog naa si laa gis that Mosquito song that bu génn noonu so it was very very timely.
For a Gambian artist.
Yeah, more that Mosquito song, so you're Banjul, and so then Talending or whatever.
Yes.
So it is very, very timely, and they are doing a wonderful job in sensitizing people.
Yeah,
because
those TikTokers.
Yeah, those TikTokers. Yeah, I don't know how much into that.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
Through art, right? Because art is a vehicle to sensitize and to enlighten. So through art, it get of send. Send kemtalaika and put sensitize it through music, which is very important because music is life, right? So kuneka of the music, nene is a so play music guy. So we have to catch the kids very, very young. And lolo tahma buga book be mu duga ci curriculum bi su ko defee xale yi ñu mun leen a catch at the very young because soo bëggee change a culture you have to start from the thing because mag ñi ñu bari they are already set in their ways.
That is right.
Yeah. So it's hard ku nekk yaa nga jàppa si li nga jàppa o gom si li nga gom waaye xale yi it is easier to kind of build and mold their mind.
That is right.
Yeah.
So book bi will be very very interesting. So xam nañ ne book bi da ngeen ko launch 2 days ago. That is Saturday with Romani ngeen ko launch.
Right.
And then lan moo xewoon foofu noonu si launch.
Well, basically, si launching bi li fa xewoon mooy I mean dañ ko tied to the all high school reunion and comme ni ma ko waxee si angale suñ keynote speaker bi Mr. James Monday did a wonderful job in basically reviewing the book and the message and the urgency of the message bi nekk ci book bi ne ñun ñëpp a war a jàppalante and not just the people but the government has a responsibility as well because ñoom ñooy ñi nga xam ne ñoo amee basically everything ñoom ñooy manage the country so ñoom ñoo war a make sure ne ñu ngi sensitize nit ñi bul ñëw rek nga bil yoon and then mu pare nga bàyyi ko noonu you have to tell people ne okay yoon bi needs to be maintained you know bu leen ñëw si kaw yoon bi di jaay or bla you know stuff like that because so leen fa jaayee bàyyi fa seen mbalit yi or tuur fa ndox mu lifin it's gonna be stagnant so it's not just building but you have to also sensitize people to let them know ne okay liñ build nii dañ ko war a saama dañ ko war a toppatoo.
Yeah, that is right. So after book bi launch dama pare léegi expect nañ ne ku ko bëgg a jënd rek ba nga ko mën a am.
Waaw so yeah ku ko bëgg a jënd fi mu nekk because suma publisher bi maa ngi leen a gërëm di leen sant Fire Network they did a wonderful job in bringing the story alive because mun nga imagine something nga binda ko waaye pour nga jël ko nga indi ko put it live and bring it to life it's a totally different thing. Book bi normally children's book bi façon bi with the illustration mu ngi waroon a jël 6 months waaye dañ ko def under a little over 3 months so it was excruciating it was just at a high speed and you know bam but it turned out to be a labor of love even though you know it was rough but suma different terms jarbaat Safi maa ngi ko gërëm because moom it moo ma jàppale ñu bring down the story from the adult audience into the children's audience. So ñoom negotiate nañ naka publisher bi with Amazon and Amazon have picked up the book as through distribution meaning ñoom ñooy market book bi and all that. So I'm very grateful for that so that mu mun a reach a wider audience. So di nga ko mun a am Amazon di nga ko mun a am ñoom si seen website bi and dina available in Gambia sometime in February at Timbuktu so dinañ ko jaayee lu gën a xala yomba ndax nit ñi fii mun koo jënd.
Okay. So like yaa ngi doon wax si angale maybe around $500-600.
Yeah, so about $10 or so. Yeah. So at a discounted rate. So which is danga xala you know doo si am profit. Why that's not the money is not the aim here. It's just to try to you know jéema change the culture of reading and encourage xale yi pour ñu read by telling stories yoo xam ne ñoom dinañ si mun a gis seen boppa parce que am na ku ma wax ne doomam bi moom daf dee wax ne moom moo nekk nii ci cover bi and that is just amazing you know,
exactly because xale yi ñoom suñu xoolee lii dañ dee enjoy this kind of
yeah ba pare mu ne
cover bi dañ ko woon guys
so moom dafa jël lii mu ne moom la and the Mosquitoes waaw mu ne moom daf dee wax ne moom turam and the Mosquitoes so gis na si boppam and that was the idea and I'm very very pleased with that
and that is the importance of you know bina loo xam ne ñun suñ boppa ñoo ko moom and yes it's from the Gambia because nga gis ne xale yi nañ fa gis seen boppa
that's right
mag yi tamit
mag yi nañ fa gis seen boppa
gis seen boppa exactly now dama bëgg ñu waxtaanee lii about the concept of the xam nañ ne is about yooyu la but can you give us just a clue of what we'll expect suñ jëndee book bi
well fun it's gonna be fun and then yooyu tamit because the xew mooy I wanted to make sure that there was representation the disabled were represented in the character of Ndow because moom yoobu gumbo la and then Nyancho moom it jigéen la waaye ñoom ñëpp dañ egg ci.
So these names ñoom yooyu la
Ñanco Lamino waaye Ñanco ak Lamino ñoom waa Sukuta lañ.
yooyu dëkk Sukuta.
waaw ñu naaw dem non dañ naaw ñu toxu Banjul pour uti opportunity because time boobu Sukuta it was like a village right so ñoom su nit ñi jógee si moto yi taxi yi joo liggéey dañ dee dégg ñuy wax ne waaw Banjul pax yaa ngi fees ñu ngi stagnant dang dee mun a breed all year so ñoom biñ déggee loolu si la Lamino start di plan nag pour dem Banjul waaw su ko defee moom it bu mun a am opportunity just like in Rio because everybody anywhere you go in the world people gravitate towards the city so ñoom it ñu ñëw fa and then they become successful so I wanted to to capture all that in the story. So, but it was tough to bring it down because Fokna binda bugi halel mo gena nahari binda bugi mag because bugi mag it's just the text new edit ko format ko then you just nyapa koche and then print. But B, you have to think about the attention span of the children and make sure that you're not giving mixed messages because they were among like a little love story. But then the developmental editor, be fok mugena paske then you're giving the kids mixed messages. So don't let it get bubu and then mu just make strictly for the environment.
Interesting. Can you speak Mandinka? You try.
Yeah, ngafole, but nkuluta bakau. Bari medame in California mbuka munga manika kangofo. Bari nkakata.
Ye mimfo senator. Bari organ tentukal jebake mo be kerfata jibe kan. Be nga very interesting thing le soto jang. Minketa bukoti mi alon ko Gambia digo mi alon ka be siri America banko ka asafe alsa sanno alla dindingo wala tan fongol sa sanno le ale nyim buko karang bari nyim bukleti mi alon ko akam dele ko Gambia ko lem na capital of ko min kera Banjul di Mischievous Mosquitoes of Banjul akam dele ko susulal mi alon ko lebe Banjul mi buko safele mi alon ko aba be explain wala fen jamal le bije mi alon ko abal karandino la anu mi asafe natale be siring Momodou Ndow niaje ma start fan ka fay jumale matati mo jamal ya lonne la do ko la mi alon ko ay wala ke Gambie jang bari America be damen fanan anaka Gambiano lu ake de mamin na ku jamal to mo jamal ya lonne wo do ko oto na yebbu ko sa fe ngalon Gambianol bebe korontorinde pour bu koy fi bari be wala kaja kan jangalon February mo jamal bitale pour kanyum bu ko sang pour ya lo mune bije bari albasanda la dindingol fana e pour ya sang pour ya bari ale alon ne mole mi alon ko a karantale allo ay londiru karim basotole ni nata tuab karangoto wota e fengo fen safi bajela alla dindingol la sila londo la fano bakela bukoto mi alon ko ay wala safi benyum bukole kacha kan jambi andong laftale a fu mole bukonyin na aya safe nyaadile anon bukonyin mune ba kononta be fola bari ni moli ya sang ya read of course iba londale ko kolmi alon ko wolle be nyim buko kono ndelem wo ite walla momo mi alon ko Gambia dingolem mota fono la ko nene manta Banjul and momo tata Banjul ening susulale encounter keltale so we don't know me nyinin kala force nyimbuko idea nyi nata nyaade le pour ka fuko okay mbot nga buko safi about Banjul la susula.
Well, ni wuluta Gambia ita fola doko susula man attack, right? So until be the susula story sotole, right? So inte wuluta Banjul and then mfama tata Angleterre dan ngata bakau.
Kami fama tata Angleterre.
Yes.
Dan itu tata bakau.
Yes. So nin susulal keleta Banjul and then tata bakau susula dolien no my.
No my. Because in that area.
Right. So the life be Gambia nin susulal be kelekan, right? So it was just appropriate nganyimbuko safe kamol sensitized about ning susula ko because nyanta dindungol karandila na stories la. So na story mu Gambia dingol be la story right? Because Gambia dingol be can see themselves in my story, right? So wole motivate nga nyimbuko safe
inata nyimbuko safe yamira mulbe mun nafa ko le sotola nyimbuko to ni asam ko dindingol sa karanno ando kebal fanan sa karanno but munem nafa ko li yalon ko molba expect kan ni asam.
Well dia nyimbuko sang ala nafa warata le bake susula ko manyinya malaria be janne sasa mo be kumbola malaria kamo fale especially dinde merengol so nyanta dindingol sensitized la and then also nyanta na reading culture falenale parce que Gambia la reading culture is very very poor. According to UNICEF 10-year-old children in Gambia Most of them can't read. 2 out of every 3 can't recognize a text or simple text or read simple words. And reading kumaya talebake. So na purpose ni pour buko is to try to change following the Gambian reading culture. Kasafe nyala, yes.
Mialonko mobesa karando.
Mobesa karando. Yeah.
Mobesa redo. Andong wojeta nyimbuko dole hani ala cover jube. Ekalon ne wobijele because ye only use mialonko they are pure Gambians.
Pure Gambians. In characters of Lamino, Nyancho, you know, Njol, Baba, Gambian tool.
Gambian tool.
And Lamino ni Nyancho bota sukutal.
Bota sukutal.
Yeah. Sukutankol.
Alvina sukutankol be nyumbuko sandale alo itol.
Nalma sang feke Nyancho ni Lamino be murunale.
Ebe bola
baje ebe muruna sukuta.
So ale nyumbuko londe ni kumu buko nyinda kulliyo ketale
yes.
Sibiti tambela.
Yes.
Andum modol benta jele pour ka buko nyinda kuofu fen jamal fota jele buko nyinda kuola bari ala kuma ya fa mo jamal ba fokande ndu mo jamal be buko nyinto fokam fa ando ngam finti marché oto ni tara buko nyinda kulliyo to nyi sibiti tambela ale mune ketaw.
Well na guest speaker James Monday na keynote speaker aye ku bete ya bale for nyimbuko think become more sensitized and the importance of the book and environment cool because Gambia Bay near everywhere you go, you know, Dulal Mantara scenario, you know, you know, Dulal Notale, you know, Giobe Dulabeto, you know, so but James nyimbuko ko ala frine I mean more bela, you know, and you know nka jaile nka tentule ala dokota.
Yeah, so scientific buko nying alia kulile already mol benta jele comme ya fu nyame James kumol fo buko nying to pour Gambianol yalom bearing Niajibe is very important. Nimbe Gambianol fana mako elele because niento la banko jibe compare with other countries. Hani mako Europe or even America.
Yeah.
But
even Senegal jang.
Itara je buka fen jamal je miya lonko nolu miya lonko e kandu kaje to la buka je to la be. But de ba je la nying abe karandi la barabe sensitize la fana ila environment iba mutano la nyame kay sene pour ka fengo mutado ya do moroke do ya fa you going anywhere so nyimbe mo kolleti mi alon ko nyim bukobe abe makoyla to bakela bare Gambia no la ni momo la takasan ba sotla nyam
nyim bukobe Amazon ne sanye and abe futala Gambia in sometime in February. So Mulba Sanda no Timbuktu bookstore na publisher nying Fire Network ye tentu ke jai fanang ye paski ye doku kende bale ke pour kanying buko publish. So bari isa no Amazon na publisher la website and then abe futala Gambia fanang in February
wala ka karinarati mil la takasan Gambia banko kanjang obe kela Timbuktu right
yeah ngawale mira
iba sanna fulaka ngoy mo
no fulaka ngoy maybe wala fulanga wala mo
exactly so it's a very important book so ibaje la language will be ba sotla musibe amen chalmina kala ngono direct bato men biya ko hande mo men gondi do woni Momodou Ndow rek Momodou Ndow windi buku mo gandantuma ko kulle dumanen buko mo wiye the Mischievous Mosquitoes of Banjul buko non ko kulle bodi gondi di Banjul ko buku waddo interesting so ji buko men kolla don cover buko o asset nyawtudo be mbadi loñ buko fayda yimbe kebe dumani no ton yimbe kebe kawri no ton kono na wayno kulle kewde kala no maton kulle buko ko woni ko der to buko non ko kulle Banjul yo bodi gondi di ton kono jogi inde ngandantuma ko inde Gambian be by yimɓe ɗiɗo he toon ko sukuraɓe gimmori ɓe jeehi Banjul. So what interesting mi andi yimɓe heeɓe gandantuma ɓe ndaara ɓe jiɗat pour sotgol o buku pour ɓe ɓiɓɓe sukaɓe maɓɓe ɓe, because buku o no windirani hay suka mo gandantuma ko primary school o woni ano wawi sodan buku o fayda ɓe o mbawi janggude wallat suka o pour ko gandantuma kulle jangde makko nde ɓeydanaw hen ko heewi, kono wona sukaɓe tan hay mawɓe ɓene ɓe hen mbawi janggu kulle ɗe gandantuma ko kulle kewɗe e nder o buko mo gandantuma ko Mr Momodou Ndow windi o ko neɗɗo mo gandantuma o suudaki nder leydi Gambia ɗo, ko neɗɗo gandaɗo a beeti, te ko neɗɗo mo gandantumane o liggima ɗo ɗo mo immoɗo mo yaha leydi wiitendi ndi Amérique ko gandantuma ko tono jooɗi joni joni ni. Buko on noon kala coɗɗo a heɓaten nafoore, sa sodani ɓiɗɗo ma no heɓaten o heɓaten nafoore gandantuma ko nafoore mawde. Buko joni fayda kala jiɗɗo sod ko lewru arondu February, buko na wawi heɓoto Tumbuktu ko ɗum o fowi joni joni ni, kono kala no way foof ɗum haala o funta ɗo haalana yimɓeɓe yo dulaje goɗɗe Amazon, kono buku one serata beeti eno $10 rek siko ko nder leydi Gambia ɗo gondal, ɗum ko around temelle 5 walla temelle 6 rek keɓa buku mo gandantuma o ko ono winde ko buku moƴƴo mo gandantuma ko kulle ɓooɗi Banjul ɗi ɓayi woni min en kala mo gandantuma feriya Banjul te a haɓi to ne ɓooɗi ɗi, you know. So yes, that is the fuller part of it. So I cannot speak
excluding me.
Yes, yeah, of course I understand. I understand, right? So I know we've of course talked about the book a lot now, and then the content of the book, of course. If anyone who wants to read the book proper, you have to wait February, and you can go to maybe Timbuktu or
Well,
Amazon,
that's just for people living in Gambia.
living in the Gambia, or Amazon if you are outside of the Gambia, and you can purchase this book. It's a very, very interesting book, right? Mr. Ndow, what are you going to tell people finally about this?
Like I said, my mission is to try to contribute to the changing of our reading culture. However little it is, you know, because we need to start reading, because I see a lot of kids around just walking around with no supervision, and they're not reading, and everywhere else around the world they're starting children very early to read, because reading very early helps with cognitive development, and it helps with comprehension as well, because reading and comprehension kind of go together, right? Because you have to be able to read in order to be able to comprehend what you read. Because sometimes people can just read and they can't comprehend. But as the more you read, the more you'll be able to comprehend. Because we have to train our children to be able to think critically. And unless you develop them at a very young age, build their mind, they will not be able to do that. Because I think the problem is sometimes people always go with the flow, because we are not taught to think critically. So it's not about, we need to teach our children how to think, not what to think, right? Because if you know how to think, then you become independent, and that's how you become innovative and be able to think outside of the box. And I also wanted to say that this book, this is just the first one. It's a series, not just all about the mosquitoes, but the Memories of a Gambian Child series, which is some of my stories growing up in Gambia that I'm bringing to a children's level. But my story is every Gambian story. Even if you don't directly live it, you can relate to it. It will resonate with you, and you will see yourself in it. If you don't live it, you know somebody who has. So that is the thing, to represent and to tell our stories, but done in a way whereby it will be attractive to others, because other people want to learn about other cultures, right?
That's right.
And most of the things that we've read is about other people, so it is time that we read about ourselves and tell our stories. And for me, that's the mission here.
All right, thank you very much. So Charles will show the cover of this book. So so that people can, yes, so this side, okay, all right. So this is the book, that is the Mischievous Mosquitoes of Banjul, and I'm sure a lot of people will buy this book and they'll purchase this book. Gambians, I think
And they'll fall in love with the characters too.
every household in the Gambia should get this book. At least they should get this, they should get this book because it's very, very important. Yes, I'm sure you good, Charles? Yes. So actually, that is it for this special interview. Unless you have anything that you want to add on before we go.
Not really. I just go out and get the book, support the cause because, the proceeds are going to go into, you know, publishing the other books so that the series can keep going. And hopefully, after that, I'll come up with some more things to try to make sure that our stories are told and we can see themselves give representation to our people and just basically help, build our confidence as a people. Because even you can be poor, right? But you can still have dignity.
That is
right. So that is the mission here. Our stories, we need to tell our stories, whether they are good or bad.
So it means this book will be serious, and you are going to write another one after this.
Yeah, so it's already in the works, but it's about me moving from Banjul to Bakau. Right. So and then my experiences in Bakau when I get there, and that's going to be the other one, and then there's another one after that, and then another one after that. So it's going to be 5, and I think all Gambians will be able to relate to those and see themselves in it because some of the kids here, our generation, what we did as kids, these kids are not doing it the same. So it's part of history. They need to know how life was back then because, like they say, you need to know where you come from in order to know where you're heading. So yeah, I mean, they need to know how we lived and learn from it and be able to. And then the other thing also I wanted to express is cross-generational collaboration because in Gambia, we tend to underestimate the young. And I think that's why there's no programs for the young because we estimate them. But the young are very talented. Right. And I know that because I worked with Safi. Safi was like born in 1997 and I was doing my thing back then. But just the wisdom that she has, and the cross-generational collaboration is a good way to pass down knowledge, to pass down wisdom, and also to learn from the young. We have a lot of young people who are talented, and we need to tap into that and not just see them as halayi or whatever and not want to associate with them. So I encourage collaboration, and I think we need to do it at the cross-generational level as well.
And that is right. I think most of the youth in this country are talented, but the motivation
is not there. It's lacking, and the resources is lacking. So if you tell them and give them a platform, encourage them, and just nurture them, they have a lot in them that they can bring out, and I think it will really benefit the country.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
So thank you very much, and thank you for watching. This was a special program about this book. The most talked about book in this country right now is the Mischievous Mosquitoes of Banjul. Please go and purchase this book. Maybe by February you can have it in the Gambia at Timbuktu bookshop. So we thank you very much because Mr. Ndow and others can say we are in the US, we are not going to do anything for this country, but actually we have to thank you also because you are doing a lot for this country. And then even this book alone is huge for this country because we are seeing ourselves in this book. So we have to thank you for that.
Thank you.
So we will urge each and every Gambian to go and purchase this book. Is purely Gambian. So bokay li lañ leen amalon tay di leen wax ne rek nañ dem ñu jënd book bi because li mbiri Gambia la jarut because soo xoolee book bi si boppam caméra bi won na leen ko da ngaa gis sa boppa si book bi because it's about ñun suñ turi lañ use Lamin and others. These are pure Gambian names yoo xam ne ñu ngi si book bi, and also da ngeen a am njëriñ seen xale tamit nañ njëriñoo si book bi nii. So that's why we are urging everyone pour ngeen dem ngeen jënd book bi nga ñinne sotaale bi mbaa fula moo be ni ñi buko findira aleta buko ñin sam because ñi mu Gambia la bukolti mole mi alon koy do ko ke Gambia andum fanan abal dindingol la londo la fala bagele buko la mi alon koy wala safe andum nim ñim buko santa bake alba jelale ko fen jamal bijele mi alon ko ate financier natino Gambia banko kan jam buko do financier nanole mi alon ko abe safela ndene atol be se munafang buko la mi alon ko Mr. Ndow, I forgot to ask this, but is there any number that someone can contact about this, or not now? It's not established.
Yeah, it will be available. I mean, I brought some few copies with me that I have with me.
Okay.
Yeah, but if anybody wants a copy, I can give you my number.
Okay.
So I have a few copies left.
You want to give you on air or okay, all right. So we all right. So you can probably contact Mr. Ndow online. Or
yeah, online. Yes,
online,
yes,
online.
Yes.
Or you can contact us at Kerfat.
Yes,
We're going to link you with Mr. Ndow.
Yes.
So thank you very much for watching. I am Buba Gajigo, and thank you, Mr. Ndow, for coming.
Thank you, Buba. Thanks for having me.